All right. Well, hey, the water for let me know that they put the video down. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave all three of the scenes in the comment board, and we'll just go over them briefly. And maybe if I try to play them without the sound, it might work. So, but I'm not gonna play the first and the second part. I'm just gonna play the last part, and I'm gonna put all three of them in the comment section where you can go and watch it. So, Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian, Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. I want to give all praise to Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi, Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Got to give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone led me to this truth, and been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect, to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, be part of that number. Lord willing, is be edified of those who fear the name of the Lord and strive to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 5, it is not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 9 is unto a ring. 2 Peter chapter 5 verse 42. The water for everybody tuning in on the comment board. Yahawashi, Barak, Atham. And I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. And I'm just going to just show you the clips. And like I said, I'm going to put them in the comment board. Lord willing, I might be able to play someone without the sound, and that might help. But, when you go and watch this first one, this first video that I got pulled up, Lord willing, set it to the flock. Video is named Ready Player One. Life is a movie and the Lord is a director. As I was saying before they took it down. I'm just going to show the screen on it, and I'm going to put them in the comment board. So basically, when you go and watch this first video, it shows this race, okay? And you want to look at this as like, this person right here is Jake, okay? And Jake is in this race, okay, to financial stability in America, Babylon the Great. Now, when you go through and watch all this, you find out that in the end, nobody makes it to the end of this race. None of the Jakes win. You can look at it like everybody here is Jake, and this is the main character, Jake. Okay, and then you got, the other nations all in here that everybody's trying to race, but Jake is the main character. That's how this movie is basically played out. Israel is the main character, and the elect are the stars of this movie. Okay, so basically, Jake is like everybody else at this point. He's in the world trying to make it towards this race and finish in this so-called economic stability in America, Babylon the Great. Shalom again, Yahawashi. Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can play it. I'm gonna try to see if I can play it again, but without the sound. But I'm gonna just do it at the end of it. So if it does have a problem or whatever, I can fix that at least. So, as we seen this race, how it ends up, nobody makes it. And I'm just going to pull up these precepts again. I know I just did them, but I'm going to pull them up again. It's only a couple of them. And this is going to explain that first race. This is Exodus chapter 23, verse 2. Thou shalt not follow the multitude to do evil, neither thou shalt speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment, right? So we're not supposed to be following the ways of everybody else. Everybody else is out here chasing the bag. We don't need to be chasing the bag. We need to be chasing the ways of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 2. And it reads, Thus saith the Lord Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, learn not the way of the heathen. Because that's what they do. They chase the bag. They chase carnal things. Okay, and that's always a dead end here for Jake. It's never going to be a sovereignty here for Jake. And it will never be until Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi comes back and takes down all these kingdoms. And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them, right? So when we see chariots, stuff like that, don't be dismayed, don't be shocked, okay? We are expecting these things to come, okay? Because we have the faith that Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi is going to redeem us without money. That's why he said don't chase money, right? He said that. He said, you sold yourselves for naught, and he shall redeem you without money. That's what he said in the scriptures. Isaiah chapter 5 verse 20, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. And people think it's a good thing in this life to chase carnality, money, riches, fame. That stuff is evil, okay? The love of it is evil. So woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. What does that mean? Also, they call Esau Edom as they act like he's the good guy or something, but they know he ain't the good guy. They just want that money. Okay, and shows their wickedness. And good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. They're completely backwards when it comes to spirituality. They're not thinking in a sense of moving spiritually. So in a way, everything they do is opposite. They're two opposites. So First Timothy, we're gonna do this. We're almost done with this part. First Timothy chapter 6 or 1 verse 6, and I'm gonna put them in order too, all the videos for those who want to go and watch them. First Timothy chapter 6, 1 verse 6. I want to go back a couple. Oh, actually, yeah, it's First Timothy, Slakia. First Timothy, hold on, bear with me. Chapter 6, verse 9. And it reads, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. And perdition basically means to be put to death. Okay, and that's what's going to happen. It also says the ways of man seem right, but it ends in death, man. The wages of sin is death, and the love of money is the root of all evil. And when you go watch that video, they all running into each other, killing each other just to get to the end of this tunnel, okay, of carnality. It's going to eventually end to a road of nowhere. So 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. And what's that piercing themselves today? That sihip, that karagma, to keep that bag. Okay, and they got incentives. They're gonna have incentives for the bag. They're talking about in the UK. They were talking about if you take the sihip, the karagma, which is the mark of the beast, the grain of rice that you put in your right hand or your forehead, and to buy or sell. Okay, you're gonna have to do that to stay a part of society. They saying they'll pay them 2,000 euros a month. Okay, which we know that's showing that you love money if you would allow these demons to brand you. Okay, so we're supposed to separate ourselves from this. So Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 1. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem, right? What did he say? Verse 2, vanity of vanities. Saith the preacher, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. All this stuff here is vanity, man. Except what we do for Yahawah, Yahawashi. Verse 3, what profit have a man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun? None, other than what he does for the Lord. Those works shall follow. Verse 4, and one generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. And that's how we know the earth is going to always be here. There will be great destruction, but it's not going to be completely destroyed. So that's that first video, that shows the race scene of them racing. Okay, and now we're going to go to this one that I said, this is the car race backwards. So this is how we're supposed to be in life, going backwards. Because when you watch this one, he gets this like I was saying in the last time. Basically, there's this guy named Alfred. Okay, and Alfred is he's basically the commentary guy, like he's like the moderator for the games, for the credits. So if you go and say, Alfred, I want to see this part in the game maker's life, which is this guy, okay, and supposedly he died, and this guy basically made it to where if you found this secret egg in the whole game, then you would get the game and 70-something trillion dollars or something, like a whole bunch of money. So everybody in the world is trying to get this bag, okay? And basically this kid is like, this child is obsessed with it. The boy who's in the movie that we seen earlier, Jake over here, he's obsessed with him, okay? And he studies everything he does, and he found out that he said that he wanted to go backwards. So in this race, Jake ended up going backwards, Okay, he gets it. He starts to see it. Of course, he looks like a so-called white person, but like I said, just think of it as Jake. It still could be Jake. But the race starts, and he goes backwards instead of forwards. Everybody else goes forwards, and he stops and goes backwards, and ends up making it through this race. And that's how we're going to be in this race of carnality. If we react in the spirit, then we're going to win this race. We're going to win this race to get to Bahasham, by thinking outside the box and going backwards. Okay? Because everything here, they look at it as, it's like they look at it as like going towards these things of carnality is good, but like you saying, it's backwards. Okay, and even when you look in Hebrew, we would always write from right to left, not left to right. So literally everything is backwards here, even the writing and everything. So we're gonna type this in. We're gonna put in some precepts to this second video, and the third one, Lord willing, they'll let me play a little bit of it, and I can explain it. Because those two parts are pretty easy to explain, but I want to be able to get into the last part. So Romans chapter 12, verse 2. And this is one of my children's videos, so most children have seen this video, so they know about it. So, Lord willing, is edifying to them. So we're going to go to Romans chapter 12, verse 2. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that's what he did. He renewed his mind whenever he seen what? He went to the oracles, which basically would be Alfred, which in this world would basically represent the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. They told us to consider the days of old. That's what this young boy was doing when he came here. He was considering the days of old before the game was made, and he learned something. That's how we are. We considering the days of old in this world, and we learn how to maneuver ourselves better than the people in the earth, because they're only looking at the present. They're not looking in the past like us and understanding our history. And it's very important to understand the history of Israel. So when you're learning stuff or you're reading stuff, you can see how it applies to today and why those things happen to us. You see, and so it's very vital that you learn the history of Israel, your heritage, man. So like it says, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. And that's what we do when we go and we learn from the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salakia, we learn from the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. We learn things that the rest of the world can't see because they're too busy chasing the bag, man. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee. Thy elders, and they will tell thee. See? So that's what we're doing. We're considering the days of old, just like in this movie. He considered the days of old, and what? He ended up unlocking a secret. He ended up finding something out that everybody else wasn't paying attention to. And that's how we are in this truth. We're finding out things that the rest of the world are going to remain blind to. So Psalms chapter 77, verse 5, and it reads, I have considered the days of old, the years of ancient times. This is King David speaking, Psalms of David, right? I call to remembrance my song in the night. What's that song? That song of Moses. The same one that saved us out of Egypt last time. That's that same song we're singing right now. I commune with mine own heart. Heart in Hebrew, Paleo-Hebrew means lab, which means your mind. Okay? It says mind, inner will, man, inner will when you look that word up in the concordance. And my spirit made diligent search. See, so we diligently been seeking for Yahawashi, and all of us who are in the truth, found Great Millstone, but the Lord has to put the spirit on you for you to see those who really demand of the Lord. So for you to have that, it's a fantastic blessing, man. It's a blessing for us to know who the men of the Lord are, So, Khan, yep, it is. Everything's backwards. But really it's forwards. That's why the Lord, I got a precept for it. Just give me a second. I'm going to pull it up for you. It says, will the Lord cast off forever? Will he be favorable no more? Right? Then it says, is his mercy clean is his mercy clean gone forever? Doeth his promise fail forevermore? Right? Verse 9, hath the Most High forgotten to be gracious? Hath he in anger shut up his tender mercies? Selah. And we know he hasn't. Why? Because we got this truth. We know he hasn't shut up his gracious mercy on us, because we wouldn't be in this truth. What's the point of putting us on the right path if he didn't want to save us? And that's another thing that's wrong with the churches. They tell you saved, but they don't tell you really what you saved from. They don't tell you being saved from destruction, intercontinental ballistic missiles coming from the other side of the world destroying America. They don't tell you that. They just tell you you're saved. Great, go back to work. And we know that's not right. So it says, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 6, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. And that's what that boy did in that second video. He was acknowledging his past and acknowledges his teachers, and they showed him some things that help him, figure out really what he was supposed to be doing, just like we are. We're going backwards out of America, Babylon the Great. As it says in Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 6, it tells us to do that. Flee out of the midst of Babylon. It's talking about spiritually, because if we try to flee physically, then that means that we're basically upsetting prophecy. The Lord said that he would scatter us across the four corners of the earth, even to Babylon, and there shall we be redeemed. So that's our faith, waiting on the Lord to come save us instead of trying to escape on our own will, right? And deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, which is sin upon sin. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. This is the time coming. He will render unto her a recompense, right? Payback. Okay, for all the things that they did to Israel. So now Isaiah chapter 1, verse 4. And it reads, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters, they have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward. They think everything here is right. Okay, they think everything here is right. They think complete opposite of what we're supposed to be like. Okay, and we were in that form too for a time being, until the Lord drew us back to this truth to understand that we complete opposite from everybody on the planet, man. As believers in Yahawah, Bahasham, and Yahawashi, and Khan, that's right, yeah, it's the gift of faith. And when you look in Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8, let's go ahead and pull it up. Let's pull it up, because you might not know. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8. And it reads, for by grace ye are saved through faith. And that not of yourselves, is the gift of the Most High. So that's how we know that this was a gift. We didn't receive this on our own, this understanding, whenever these precepts are read to us, and that spiritual understanding for you to know that everything is backwards here. Everything, losing here is really winning. Okay? Because it says anybody who is of the world is the enemy of the Most High. And what are the enemies of the Most High doing? They're in that race to get the bag. So, basically you get to the end of the movie or whatever, and Lord willing, they'll let me play this. And let me know, Ak, if it starts tripping on me. But I'm going to leave it out so I can see it too. But I just want to make a point. Okay? Because in this scene, you see how he's got all the money, everything, the bag. He got there. He got to the bag. Okay? So, but something happens. Okay? And I'm going to try to see if I can play it. So he sits down, right? See, he's got the contract. He's finna write it, and then he stops. He's like, hold on. Something ain't right. Right? You see him, he like explaining to him, this is weird. You see? Why? Because he's not thinking carnally. He's thinking spiritually. He's like, this is something different. Something's not right. Right? And watch what happens. And I would advise you to go ahead and go watch it, but see how he throw it down? He like, yeah, man, this isn't the way. Okay? And that's how this world works. People sign their soul to the damn system, and they sign that contract, man. But the true Jakes throw that pen down. Nah, man, you can't take my soul, man. I'm good with all that. This is what I was looking for. You said I came here to get a damn egg. And what does it say about the Lord? How he said that there was a vineyard and there was workers in the vineyard, and he said all the vineyards will get a penny, which is that salvation, that immortality. Okay, that's what we're looking for. We're not looking for a damn contract. We're looking for that penny. We're looking for, salvation, man. And that's what he was looking for. In a way, in the spirit, basically. So he's like, oh, okay, well, you're smart. And so he goes, okay, I'll really take you where you want to go. And looks where he takes him back. He looks where he takes him back to. He gets rid of all the fancy looking stuff and he just takes him back to his room where he's a kid. The creator of the game, he just takes him back to where he's just a child playing video games. And he goes, let's see if I can get it. Yeah, he's about to do it. See, it's showing him playing. That's the owner of the game when he was a child. He's going to be like, yeah, it's right over here. Basically, I just want to show him where he has it at. It's not some super sacred looking, And that's how these people think. They think of it like it has to look like, this truth has to look like glory and riches and gold land all over the place for them to see that it's valuable. But, we don't have to do that. Okay? We don't need all that. The truth doesn't look pretty, man. It looks gloomy, like this place that they're in. Okay? But hold on. He's about to give it to him. Lord willing, they don't take it down. They ain't been taking it down yet. No, it's kind of lagging. But see, look what he do. Hold on. He like, where it at? Oh, you don't even know where it is. He looking in the drawer. Man, why is that thing going so slow? Let's see if I can get it to play a little better like this. Turn down that resolution a little bit. Whatever. See, he looking for it. Look, he gonna open the drawer. Oh, no, it's not there yet. He almost there. He finna pull it out. There it go. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. See, it's just sitting under there somewhere. Some random spot that nobody would, and everything looks all normal around. Nothing looks all, extraordinary and extravagant. That's how it is with this truth, man. We found this truth at a rough place in our life. We found this truth in a place where things didn't look pretty. Our lives has been, through troubles and whatnot. But the truth was right there for us to see in the darkest place in America, Babylon the Great, at the bottom. Okay, where we're working for everybody, having to serve everybody else. That's where we found the truth at, in the wilderness, man. That's where you find Yahawashi. So that's kind of what I got out of that. I got a couple precepts I'm going to do, and I'm going to post all those in the comment board. And then I'm going to get out of here because I gotta get me some rest before I get up tomorrow and do some more work. So, actually, I want to do Proverbs chapter 2, verse 9, but I want to start right here. If thou seekest her as silver, talking about the truth, and the truth is Sophia, wisdom. Wisdom is Sophia, okay? And basically the truth is like a woman. Okay, we're supposed to take care of it, and we're supposed to nurture it and honor it and then take it to a point to where we share it, okay, with the rest of Israel. We're supposed to flip it. That's our job, to basically invest his money. This is his money. So if thou seekest her as silver and searchest her as for hid treasure. See, it was a hidden treasure. It was just sitting at the bottom of some crusty drawer down there. It wasn't in no damn altar or nothing. It was, right? Verse 5, thou shalt understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of the Most High. See? But we got to search for it like it actually means something. But the world doesn't think it means something because you get the profit of this until the back end. You don't get recognition on this until the back end. Everybody here wants recognition on this side. That's why you have these other camps trying to make money off the truth, and they want everybody to recognize them. When Yahawashi hasn't even been exalted in the earth yet. Verse 6, for the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. Right? Verse 7, he layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. Right? We walk uprightly in his truth. He keepeth the paths of judgment and preserveth the way of his saints. And that's what he does. He takes us to that point to where we're in the truth, even before we even knew it. We knew since the time we were born, the Lord basically designed us to come to this truth, man. And we pray to be of those men who don't fall out of the truth. Okay, and Aqua, we want to be the ones who stay in the truth, because it says if you come in this truth and you fall out, then you was never with us. You see, so we want to stay in this truth and continue, because once you pick up this plow and you start working for Yahawashi, you can't stop. Verse 9, then thou shalt understand righteousness and judgment and equity, yea, every good path. And that's what we want to know. We want to know all the paths that lead to salvation. And all of them lead to Yahawashi. They all lead to Yahawashi, man. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 17. I got one more precept after this. I'm going to put them in the comment board, and Lord willing, it'll be edifying for y'all, man. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 17. He is in the way of life that keepeth instruction. He that refuseth reproof erreth. So we're going to go through reproof. We're going to be corrected. And it's going to be a good thing that you're corrected, because the Lord doesn't chastise you unless you're his sons and daughters. He's not going to chastise you if just like if you had a child, if your neighbor had a child, you wouldn't discipline them and be like, your father got to do that. That ain't your job. And that's why we're glad that the Lord is doing that. He's reproving us with this word. Revelation chapter 3, verse 18, I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire. Who's it being tried in the fire? His men. He said he will make a man more precious than fine gold, right? That thou mayest be rich, right? Rich in spirit and in faith. And white raiment, talking about this word, that thou mayest be clothed, that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear. Those people who don't know the truth, 2/3. And anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. Now, I want to just look up this word eye salve, and we're going to be done. We're going to look it up in the blue letter, and we're going to be done. Didn't want to make this video that long. It would have been longer if I was able to play the video, but now I know if I play without no sound, it might work. But I'm kind of nervous on doing it, because Esau be sometimes letting it go up, and then he'll take it down later, man. Esau just... He don't want nobody touching his precious little movies. So, as I always say, Barak Atham to everybody bearing with me on this 7-8 times I had to do this doggone video. So, the water for bearing with me. So, we're going to go over here to that eye salve, and we're going to look that word up. It's not going to be in the Hebrew. It's going to be in the Greek. I don't know how to say eye salve in Paleo Hebrew yet, but I'm gonna get a lot of these words that I'd learned and learn them from my elder. Lord willing, when I get the time. We're always moving, you know. He's got videos he got to do. I got videos I got to do. We both work, as all brothers should. So we're gonna click on that.
Strong's G 2854, Kalurian.
Okay, right.
Thayer's Lexicon, related entry. Kalurian.
Right. It says a preparation. Right. We're supposed to be preparing ourselves, composed of various materials, basically various precepts, understanding the word, as used as a remedy for tender eyelids. See. So we have those tender eyelids to be able to spiritually see what the Lord's doing in these movies and what He's saying, in these you know, in these hidden messages throughout things. A plaster, see, it's something that we have been allowed to be able to see spiritually with. That's what that is. That eye salve is what we have because we can see this truth. You see. And just like this young boy who was in this video, he was able to see what everybody else couldn't see, and it brought him to that penny. Like you can look at that little egg as the penny, basically, salvation. So, you know, I'm gonna go post them all in the comment board for those who come and watch to go ahead and go watch them. Lord willing, is edifying to the flock. Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth want to give all praise to Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Got to give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Oh yeah, bro, this is how you spell Ak. Right here, I'm going to put it in the comment board for you. That's how you spell it. So Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Bahasham, Qadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Led me to His truth and been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect and to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we part of that number. Lord willing, be edifying to those who fear the name of the Lord and striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 5, it is not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 9 is unto a ring. 2 Peter chapter 5 verse 42, Wa Abal Babal, which means death to America, DTA. So Lord willing, this is edifying to y'all, and Lord willing, will be at exalted name Yahawashi yet another day. May the election may the elect the grace of the election be upon your household, holds Kwam Yasharala, and we'll tune in next time, Lord willing. Shalom.